All right. Well, hey everybody, this is Vic. Hopefully we need no introductions here for this particular part. This is a special WebinarFuel demo, kind of a meeting, and I wanted to bring Anthony here. Anthony, how you doing, my man?
Good, good. How about you?
Doing awesome, brother. Doing awesome. So, guys, we're doing this literally like, I wish you would know like the stuff that's going on behind the scene. Anthony's moving. He's like in the middle of stuff, brand new house, that kind of.
Yeah.
And we're recording this on a Sunday morning, just so that we can have it here. But we'll get into the demo in just a second. I wanted to kind of pre-frame this. So obviously, you're here because you already know the power and the importance of having your turnkey custom marketing system set up, right? I explained to you the importance of that and all that, good stuff. Like I told you there, when I discovered WebinarFuel and I called Anthony, I'm like, hey, bro, you're doing webinars. We're looking to set our people up for the best ultimate solution. And I'm like, man, I'm considering doing, a stealth seminar and, the typical suspect, right? Webinar jam, that kind of stuff. And Anthony, what'd you tell me, man? You remember?
I said, stop, halt, don't do that. They're not good. I'm not too shy about talking about automated webinars and the platforms and what you should and shouldn't use, because I myself do like we discussed, between Adrian and I, we've done, well in excess of $30-40 million in automated webinar sales. And we took the time to build a different platform because the current one simply didn't work. And so I told you, I was like, do not do this. If you want your students to really be able to succeed, you want the people in this network to really be able to make money, there's a better way. And I think that's how we ended up here.
You said, dude, like web. I'm like, what's the difference between WebinarFuel and like stealth and all these other, things, right? Because I've used, Webinar Jam before, and it's a good platform for what it does. We're not,
Right.
We're not gonna poop on anything out there, necessarily. But, Anthony's like, Vic. He paused and he's like, this is light years ahead. I'm like, really? Show me. So he showed me. And guys, literally, I was floored. I mean, I was like, what? I saw the demo and I was like, dude, this is insane. So, I got our entire company on WebinarFuel. I canceled the Stealth Seminar account that I was paying $1,700 a month for, literally. And so we just migrated everything over and we're setting our people up over on this thing. This is just the most incredible thing that has ever come across our community here within the 4%, and we're just very grateful. Anthony, you are obviously created something that is just lighting the industry on fire here. And so what we were able to do is we were able to create a synergistic collaboration, seamless connection, and create, like, take WebinarFuel and integrate seamlessly within our ecosystem, within the eStage, marketing platform that you have, obviously. And so I've invited Anthony. I said, bro, just, let's do a private Zoom here for our people. By the way, you're seeing this privately within our 4% community, right? So please do not share, nobody's allowed to share this video outside of the 4%ers, because what you're about to see here is literally for your eyes only. So if you can please respect that request, I would appreciate that. We don't want anybody outside to see this, because this is like our secret sauce, that we're doing, that we have created here for the community, and people are absolutely crushing it. That's the beauty about this thing and why I wanted to show you the demo. Obviously, you understand the concept behind, right? Having your own turnkey system that you control. You can retarget people. You're not relying on an affiliate link. You're not, using the standard affiliate structure like everybody out there. You're not going to be just another affiliate with another product that like 100,000 other people can promote, right? You want to separate yourself from the crowd. And with WebinarFuel, it gives you that ability. But at the end of this call here, I'm also going to show you something that we're doing just for you and just for our community. I promise you, it will blow your mind and you may not sleep for the next couple of days. Now, before we do that, Anthony, if you don't mind, brother, just, maybe 30 seconds of brief overview. We have a lot of people, going to be seeing this, new people that might not necessarily know who you are. Who is Anthony Morrison? Why should they pay attention? Why did you create this tool? And then let's get into the demo and, show us the nitty-gritty.
Sure. All right. Well, I'm going to grab the screen here and just share my screen, because I do have some I do have some slides that kind of talk about this. And so, I'm gonna breeze through these. We're not going to talk a whole lot about how great Anthony Morrison is. Okay. I know that none of us are here for that and we don't want to hear about it, but I do think context is everything. So if you're new and maybe you're new to the 4%, or you just missed when Vic and I did this previous promo, I think it's important to get some context behind how well this works, why it works, and then also why you should let it work for you, right? And so, look, we're going to talk about the secret software. It's not a secret anymore because Vic's already told you it's WebinarFuel that I've been using behind the scenes now. And you can plug it into any funnel, including all of your eStage funnels and all of the funnels that that Vic has created. And we'll talk more about that in a little while. And it will dramatically increase your sales. Now, some people say, okay, well, Anthony, how can you prove that it's going to increase my sales? And I say, well, just look at the awards and the things that I've got. By the way, like Vic said, I'm going to go ahead and pre-apologize for my dog's barking because I am in the middle of moving, and so there's people around, and the dogs, they bark at their shadows. So when somebody walks in the door, they're definitely going to bark. So I apologize if you hear a bunch of barking dogs. But how did I get these 8 2 Comma Club awards from ClickFunnels, right? Like ClickFunnels says, hey, we give you this 2 Comma Club award if you do $1 million in sales in a funnel. Well, I've got more than 8 of them. They're all over my office. And we just, when I created this, I didn't know how many I really had. So just put like 8 plus, right? I probably have 12 or 13. And so how did I get those? Automated webinars were the way that I got them. Like most every single one of my funnels that is successful has an automated webinar at the front of it, right? And so I got the 8 of these $1 million awards, and it's all from automated webinars. And then kind of evolved, right, into this 2 Comma Club X award. So this is a funnel that's done over $10 million. Now, how do we go from $1 million to 10 million in a single funnel? Optimizations. It was truly trying to figure out how can I make my automated webinars better? And this is kind of when I started my journey on WebinarFuel. I started the journey of like, okay, how can I take these other platforms and hack them together to do better things that I'd never done before with automated webinars? And that kind of got me up to this $10 million level. But then we reached completely new heights. And we went in and got the 2 Comma Club C award, which is for doing over $50 million online. Now, how did I go from $1 million to 50 million? It was through optimizing my automated webinars. The one key thing that's at the front of all of this is an automated webinar. Okay, let's just be upfront. Webinars are the key to making sales. Live environments, just like like this. When you're on a webinar, you're engaged, you're paying attention, you're focused, right? Your energy level is different. And so the sales reflect that, right? And automated webinars are how I've been able to scale. And this is to doing over $50 million with my funnels. We've actually done more than that now. I also am a dream car winner from them for being one of their #1 affiliates. So a lot of people start looking at, like, wait a minute, hold on. How did Anthony become the #1 affiliate for ClickFunnels? And that's what I think is so powerful about automated webinars. You don't have to use automated webinars to sell just your stuff. You don't have to be the product owner. You can literally be an affiliate for another company, use an automated webinar, and crush it. And that is how I am the #1 super affiliate for an entire company of ClickFunnels. Like this is a company that will probably sell for $1 billion. And I'm their #1 affiliate. And it's all because of automated webinars, right? So hopefully at this point, after just a few of these like revelations, like, okay, I can be an affiliate and run automated webinars, or I can have my own product and run automated webinars. Like it works for both instances, and it works at a really high level for both types of people. So now you kind of know like already, because Vic's kind of has already, told you a little bit about this, showed you a little bit about WebinarFuel. But I think before we get into the demo, I think a little context is important, right? Because context is everything. And so what I want to do is just kind of quickly show you how Russell built ClickFunnels, because ClickFunnels is, look, I know all of you use eStage to build your funnel pages, But prior to eStage and 4%, ClickFunnels was really the only solution I think that was viable for anybody to really build a landing page, right? And the company has grown to massive, massive, massive heights. And so you got to wonder, like, how did Russell do that? And so this is the actual, I mean, Russell built this slide for me. Like, this is legit how he built ClickFunnels. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, he would run promotions, traffic, ads, emails, whatever he could to fill up a bunch of people on a webinar that he would do live on Thursday. On Thursday, he'd do the webinar live. Then on Friday, he would run a replay. On Saturday and Sunday, he would use some urgency and scarcity to try to increase his sales. And then he would just loop back around and start all over again, right? And it was just a constant, Groundhog Day, just start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, constant, right? And look, this model, it was great, okay? It was great. And here's some of the statistics from it. He was paying about $3 to get a registration. This was back when we first started, right? So he'd spend about $3,000 in a week getting 1,000 people to register for his webinar, okay? 25% would show up. So I circled that for you. I want you to pay close attention. 25% would show up. He would close about 10% at $1,000. So that would give him 25 sales or $25,000. And then on those follow-ups, on that weekend urgency and scarcity, he would double up his sales, make another 25 grand. And he would basically turn $3,000 in ad spend into $50,000 in sales. Plus, he would have 1,000 new leads. Now, I'm sure if you're looking at this, you're thinking, okay, what is wrong with this? Why would anybody change anything about this? This is turning 3 grand into 50 grand. Do this every day, right? But here's the thing. One of the things that really stood out to us was the show up rate, right? Is the show up rate was low, and the fact that he had to be live every single week. And if you think about it, the show up rate is low because not everybody can be available on Thursday for a webinar, but that happened to be the day that Russell ran his webinars. So what about the people that could only be available on Tuesday or only be available on Saturday? Well, they didn't get a chance to watch the webinar. And so it made it so that it was difficult to get a high show up rate. And then of course, being live all the time eats into your time freedom, right? Your ability to do the things that you want to do, travel, whatever. If your whole business depends on you being live every Thursday. And so he started thinking, like, what if you had 100% show up rate? Probably never going to get 100, but what if you could get 60, 70, 80%? And what if you didn't have to go live every single week? Well, Russell tried a lot of different automated webinar platforms. He made this slide, by the way. The problem is they all sucked. And that's just the fact of the matter. Now, Russell said that they all sucked, but I'm here to tell you that I think they all suck, right? It's not just him. It's that at the end of the day, webinars are, you can make a great webinar, but if the platform that's playing it back doesn't play it back clearly, if they don't play it back in a live environment, if they don't play it back in a way that keeps people engaged, it just really doesn't matter how good it is. It's probably going to fail, right? And that's just the facts of automated webinars. So we started saying, like, okay, well, what if you didn't have to go live every week? What if you could get 100% or 80% show up rates? What if you had better follow-ups so that you could more than double your sales after somebody attends your webinar? And what if you could do it all in one platform instead of having to connect 1,000 things together to make it work? And that is where I came up with WebinarFuel. It was to solve these problems. It was to fix these issues. Because with WebinarFuel, and we'll go through the demo here, WebinarFuel plays your webinar back in software. So I know that a lot of you obviously are going to be watching this as a replay of video, whatnot. But at the end of the day, when you're live on a webinar, okay, you download the software and it launches on your computer like Zoom or GoToWebinar, you are more focused on what's being said, because you're in this live environment, right? I always give this example. If you go to a Tony Robbins event and he starts doing all that stuff like that, and people just jump out of their chairs. I mean, they're just going crazy. It's people you would never expect to act like this, but the energy and the momentum in this live environment just takes them to another level. They can't help themselves. They're jumping up and they're dancing and all this stuff. And then if you watch somebody that's sitting at home and says, hey, you know what? I'm going to watch some Tony Robbins this weekend. I need a good mindset, kind of refresh. And they pull up a Tony Robbins video on YouTube and start watching it. Well, you don't see them jumping up and down in their house. You don't see them acting crazy and dancing and all that stuff in their home. They don't do that. They just watch it. The way we react and interact in a live environment is totally different than the way that we act and react when watching a video on a web page. It's just different. And so when you automate a webinar, usually this is what it looks like. So this is what the other software looks like. It's literally a video that's on a web page that you literally have to press play to make it start. I mean, you can see right there, it says start the broadcast. You have to hit play, the play button. With WebinarFuel, we've made WebinarFuel automatically play with sound. It launches in software. So you have to download this software, put it on your computer and play it back just like Zoom, okay? We give you control over your registration page, your thank you page, your registration widgets, your chat, like everything is controllable by you because that's the way it should be so that you can optimize and get more sales. It's almost a tragedy to spend time putting something together and making less sales than you possibly could have made, all because the tech, all because the software that you're using sucks. Like, that's terrible. If it's limiting you, it's limiting your success. And that means there's a ceiling over your head. And as an entrepreneur, you don't want a ceiling over your head. As a business owner, you don't want a ceiling over your head. You don't want to know that this is as high as I can go. And it's because of X, Y, and Z. It doesn't matter what X, Y, and Z are, right? And in this case, what holds you down and pulls you back is the fact that the software that is available to automate a webinar simply isn't good, right? They haven't taken the time to build good tech. And that's because there was no competition. There was nobody else that was willing to do it. We spent 2 years, we built WebinarFuel to completely solve all of these problems. So what I'm gonna do is just jump into a demo if that's cool with you. Is it cool if we just jump into a demo, Vic?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's just, let's minimize that. And what I'm gonna do is pull up one of my pages. Now I had this page loaded, so I'm just gonna refresh it real quick. Okay, so this is a standard landing page. You can build this landing page inside of your eStage accounts, right? You can build landing pages just like this that tell everybody how to register for the, how to register for the webinar, how to do all of the different things that obviously one would do for the webinar.
And by the way, Anthony, just a quick note here. So I know that some people will be watching this and they saw that, it's like WebinarFuel and ClickFunnels logos on the bottom of those slides that you had. If you are using ClickFunnels, if you want to stick with ClickFunnels or any other page builder there, this seamlessly integrates with anything, right?
Yeah, so this will integrate with anything.
Right.
The reason that had ClickFunnels in it is because originally when I released WebinarFuel for the first time, it was with Russell and the ClickFunnels community. And we kind of talked through Russell's journey for launching ClickFunnels. And now, like, you've got the same thing happening with 4%. You're launching 4%, you've got eStage, you've got this awesome page builder, but how do we sell more? How do we sell more of our products? It's not always a simple funnel. It's a funnel with an automated webinar that really makes that happen. And so I think you're probably about to go on the same journey that Russell went on and probably explode your company, sell a ton of eStage and have a lot more users than you already have because you're going to be using automated webinars to make it happen. And so, yeah, this integrates anywhere. And what really makes this happen, if everybody pays attention, is this little button right here. This is called the registration widget. Okay, so let me just take you inside of WebinarFuel. So this is inside of WebinarFuel. This is just one of my one of the webinars that I currently run. Okay, Aside from all the statistics that we give you that shows you how many visitors hit your page, how many people registered, you know, how many people showed up, I want you to look at the show up rate. 75% show up rate on this webinar.
That's insane.
At 75%. Now, for all the people that say, oh, nobody will download software and show up. No, you're wrong. They will. 75% have. The second thing is that if you recall, it was a 25% show up rate on Russell's live webinars. So this is 3x. So if he was doing 50K on the live ones, this would kind of equate to enough people joining and being on the webinar to do 150 grand, 3 times the sales, right? Now, all automated webinars, no matter what platform, can get you a high show up rate. The problem is, can they actually sell? This particular webinar, my YouTube Business Building Masterclass, this is literally a webinar that this is not even a webinar. This is a video I pulled right off of YouTube and threw it into here and threw it into the other platforms just to test. I said, okay, I'm not going to like go build this epic, awesome, you know, high converting webinar. I just want to see if I just grab a sales video and throw it into an automated webinar platform, what will it do? I'm converting at 3% inside of WebinarFuel. Inside of the other platforms, we were under 1%. Under 1%, I think 0.7%. So we're 3 or 4 times the conversion rate in WebinarFuel than we had in the other platforms. So again, it's not just about can I get people to show up, it's about can and will people buy? And the answer is yes, if you put them in the right environment. Now, this is my registration page, which is what you guys will use for pretty much all of your webinars that you do. You'll build a registration page like this in eStage, and you will put one of these widgets on it, okay? Now, the widgets are built right inside of WebinarFuel. You'll see where it says registration widget. And what you'll notice is that inside of here, we can create these embed widgets, okay, which are just little buttons, all right? This is the button that's sitting right here on this page. Now, the cool thing is that you can also split test. So you see that there's this red button and then this blue button. If you were to keep refreshing this page, which I'm not going to do because I want to register, this button would change between the blue button and the red button. And you don't have to do anything. You just simply grab a little piece of code right here. You put this on your web page. You just copy it and put it onto any web page. Doesn't matter what it is, WordPress, eStage, ClickFunnels, doesn't matter. And your registration button will show up, okay? And it will split test between these two registration flows. Now, a lot of you might be saying, okay, well, great, Anthony, all it's doing is split testing between the color. Well, that's not true. When it says register now versus register for the web class, save my seat, the copy that's on here makes a difference in whether or not somebody will register. Also, what you'll notice with our platform that you cannot do with other platforms is what we call a multi-step registration process. So when I click this button to register, watch what happens. The first thing that happens is it comes up and it asks me for my email address. Other platforms do not do this. When you click to register for them, they ask you for all the information up front. For us, what we do is we ask just for the email address, okay? So I'm gonna put my email address in here, just like this, and then I'm gonna hit save my seat and watch what happens. Now it asks me to select the date and time for my webinar, okay? Other platforms ask you for this up front. What that does is it absolutely kills your conversion rates. What we found with WebinarFuel is that we get on average 12% more leads into your system, meaning you get 12% more email addresses than you would have gotten if you use the two-step registration flow. And now those 12% of people that did not finish because they look at this and they say, oh, I can't join that webinar right now, okay? Well, guess what? You've got their email address, you can follow up with them and you can get them on a webinar at a later date, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here real quick and I'm going to put in my information and then I'm just going to register for the webinar. Boom. Now you'll see that we're on the registration thank you page. This is another page that you will build yourself in eStage or any other platform. And you'll
By the way,
notice
we have by the way, we have these pages as you know, we have them given to you that you can just import. So they're coming pre-built for every funnel that we have through the Shiki Boom network. So
right. And so, yeah, obviously Vic has built a lot of these for you for his offers and his network. So you don't even have to worry about that, right? And then you just place this little code on any page. Let me show you where that code is. You go into your WebinarFuel account and you just click on thank you page widget, and you'll see that you've got one. You can change it, make it horizontal. You know, you can make it, you can edit these things to make them whatever you want them to be. Okay. That's very important for everybody to note. But now this gives you control of your thank you page, which means you get to build the thank you page that you want to build. You get to control it. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. As you can see right now, we registered for a webinar that was starting in just a couple of minutes. It's very important on this registration page to just focus people on doing two things: downloading the Webby app. That's the software that's going to launch the webinar, just like Zoom, right? And then getting on the webinar. That's the most important thing that anybody could be doing right now, because there's only 30 seconds until this webinar starts. I'm going to let this thing launch, and I'm going to let you see what the WebinarFuel platform looks like. And then I'm going to show you what you can do when you really want to maximize the amount of money you make on your thank you page. Okay. So we give you with WebinarFuel complete control over your thank you page so that you can actually sell on your thank you page when it makes sense. So I'm going to show you how that works in just a second. But first, let's see what happens when our countdown hits 0 and we actually go and we join our webinar. Okay, so this is exactly what would happen to a client of yours if they register for your webinar. It instantly takes them and says, hey, open the Webby app. This looks just like a GoToWebinar style platform. So it's pulling up and saying, hey, we want to open this application. So you click open, and instantly the webinar launches.
12 months, spending an hour
and you can see
posting
that we're live on this webinar
on YouTube,
okay?
Without any
now,
ads.
There are hosts.
Super excited.
I know you can hear audio over audio, so I'm going to try to go through it quickly.
With you and
shows you the attendees.
This is what we're going to cover.
And then it'll start showing you the chat.
I'm going to show you how to get
once the chat starts. See?
And I'm going to show you
how. So this person says, "Hi everyone."
YouTube business in less than 24 hours. How you can literally get started with this and be on the
You can post your own chat,
on YouTube
as you can see.
I'm also going to show you how to get.
And so this feels real. Look, this is not in
my 3
a web page.
Techniques.
Now, I'm going to close
free
this.
Traffic to my videos, and the 2 profit strategies.
Now here's the cool.
Just like Zoom.
Yep, it's just like Zoom. And that's what makes this so unique, is that it is just like Zoom, okay? That it does work just like something like Zoom, right? What's cool about this is that you heard it auto-played. I didn't press play. You could hear the sound. I didn't have to click for sound. It didn't buffer, meaning it wasn't a video that was going trying to load, even though it's a big file like webinars usually are. It just loaded right up. It was in software, so you felt like you were a part of the experience. You couldn't hit pause, right? All of these things make webinars convert better than videos. All of these things don't exist in the other platforms that do automated webinars. They all just play a video right on a web page. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so a couple of things I want to show you about our platform, a couple of other things that you can do. All right, so I showed you the thank you page. All right, so this was that thank you page that you saw right here. All right, I also told you you could have 2 thank you pages. Check this out. All right, so for your webinars, you can build out, oops, hold on, I clicked too fast. So for your webinars, you can build out 2 different thank you pages, okay? One thank you page that looks like this, okay, that's designed to just get people on your webinar. The other one that looks like this, as you'll notice down at the bottom, it has a special invitation to join my M Insider newsletter. This is just a inexpensive $10 a month newsletter where we go through and we upload one awesome thing that we've done in our business for the month. We upload it to this. So it's like you get one thing that we've learned in our business per month inside of our newsletter. It's $10 a month, right? This video is 9 minutes and 53 seconds. right? And it takes people another 5 minutes or so to actually purchase. So you're looking at like 15 minutes for somebody to make that purchase. If you wanted to sell on your thank you page and there was only 8 minutes until the webinar started, you definitely would not want this on here because this would distract people. They would start watching this and they would forget to go get on the webinar. Also, important to note that when this timer hits 0, it will close this page anyway, as you all saw, and it would take people to the webinar. So what we've done is we built in automations in WebinarFuel so that you can say, and you get to control, hey, if there is over an hour and a half before my webinar starts, show this thank you page that sells something, whatever that something is, right? For me, it's this insider newsletter. If there's under an hour and a half before the webinar starts, when somebody registers, show this page that just gets them on the webinar. And you get to choose that time, whether it's an hour and a half, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It really all depends on, what you're trying to sell on this page. But basically what WebinarFuel lets you do is optimize your process. Now you can make money on your thank you page before people ever even get on your webinar, right? And you can do that without hurting your webinar performance, which is what you would do if you were unable to do it this way. Also important to note that other platforms don't even let you build your own thank you page. You have to build a crappy one within one of their templates, right? Because we are widget based like this, you can put these widgets anywhere and tie in your registration page to your thank you page, okay?
They're mobile responsive and everything.
Yeah, mobile responsive, everything. This is another version of my page. So I just wanted to show you, if I were to refresh, do you see how now you see the red button, right? And it changes. Now, inside of WebinarFuel, when you're looking at your buttons, there is a little bar here that shows statistics. And those statistics give you exactly what each one of these buttons are doing. So version 1, you'll notice, has gotten 2,300 registrations and converted at 37%. Version 2 has gotten 2,300 registrations and a couple more, converted at 37%. So here's where I tell you copy matters, okay? Does everybody see right here with leads? Version 1 only has 869 leads. Version 2 has 944 leads. Okay, what a lead is a lead is a person who gave us their email address and did not turn into a registration, okay? So you can see that my lead registration, like my lead count is really high. I get a lot of leads that I would have never gotten had they seen the registration times up front. But do you see how this one has 944 leads? This one only has 869. So I've picked up, 75 more leads by using version 2. And look at the copy on version 2. You see how it's different? And so what's important about this is that I can see real quickly that version 2 and version 1, they convert the same when it comes to getting people to register for the webinar. But version 2 seems to get more people to click and give me their email address. So more people are going to click this and give me their email address. So because of that, I can go in here and I can turn off version 1. I leave this running for purposes of this, of being able to share this with people. But if I turn this off, I don't have to go back to my web page and do anything. When I turn it off inside of WebinarFuel, it just will no longer show up on this web page anymore. Now I can add another version. I can go in here and create a new version that I want to split test, and it'll automatically show up on that web page and start split testing. So you can do all of this from right inside WebinarFuel. You don't even have to go back to your web page, and you can optimize how many leads you get. And as you guys know, the money is in the list. The money is in the leads. You got to have leads. And that's what WebinarFuel helps you do, is get more leads, right? So you've seen that with WebinarFuel, you can split test your registration widgets, which you cannot do with other platforms. You've seen that with WebinarFuel, you can now make money on your thank you page, which you cannot do with any other platforms. You've seen that with WebinarFuel, we launch in software, which is going to increase your conversion rates, which no other platforms offer this, right? It just doesn't exist. You can also customize everything. And I told Vic we wouldn't go too deep because I know he's got a lot of things that he's already done and a lot of training he's done on WebinarFuel. But I want to be very clear. You get to control your schedule of when your events take place, right? This one shows that you can join a session that's already in progress. And you'll notice it says it lets you put in the start time. So if you want it to feel like that webinar was actually in progress, ours would start at the 3-minute mark of the video. Then I have mine set to run every single day, every 15 minutes of every single day. And that's what this is. But you can do whatever you want. You can run your webinar on a certain day at a certain time. You can run your webinar every day at a certain time. You can run your webinar, every specific day of the week, like every Tuesday at a certain time.
That's
You
crazy.
can, yeah, literally, you can run your webinar tomorrow at a certain time. So basically, any day that somebody lands on your registration page, it'll always say there's a webinar tomorrow at a certain time, right? You can run your replay where you can say watch yesterday's replay, so they can just watch a replay. I don't suggest using that one really. It's much easier just to do the join session in progress. But everybody has their own options. So there's all these options that you can use to get people on your webinars and to schedule your webinars around whatever schedule you want. You also can black out some dates and stuff. So you can make it so that people only see the next 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 10 sessions. So when they click that button to see what the available registration dates are, you can control how many they see. And then you can add in blackout dates. So if you say, hey, listen, I don't ever want my webinars to run on Mondays, they don't have to, right? If you say, hey, I don't ever want my webinars to run on Christmas Day, okay, they won't run, right? You can do that. You can also add what we call a night schedule. So basically you can say, hey, starting at 11 p.m. and ending at 7 a.m., if anybody registers for a webinar in this time period, even if there's one available during this time period, don't let them register for anything until after 7 a.m. So if somebody comes to this web page to register and you have every 15 minutes you're having a webinar, it would basically, if they came in at 11:01, it would say the next available session is at 7:15 a.m. the next day. And that makes it feel more live, right? Because most people would know that you're probably not running a live webinar at 3 a.m., right? It's more believable that it's at 7 a.m. and so on and so forth. So you can do night schedule, and then you can block short-term registration. You can say, hey, look, don't let anybody register for a webinar today. So show only tomorrow's dates or tomorrow and the next day and so on and so forth. So you can do, in other words, you have complete control over your schedule and what days or dates that people can or can't register. You have control over your webinar room, okay? So you get to control if it counts up, like everything about the room is controllable. How many people it shows that are on, the chat, everything, you get to control that. We do have integrations, so you can integrate with all the major email service providers and such, so that when you get leads into WebinarFuel, you can put them back into your autoresponders, whether it's Ontraport, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Aweber, GetResponse, whatever it is. We'll push those leads back in there. But also, we have built-in notifications. And so this is the last thing I'm going to show you. When somebody registers for a webinar, we can go in and do 3 types of messaging to them. First thing we can do is send them an email. And you can see that we have an entire email editor already built in. So literally, you can write the email and it will automatically be sent out by our system, okay? Then you can send an SMS. So you can send a text message to people, let them know that they need to get on the webinar. But the one thing that you can do in our platform that you can't do in anybody else's is you can do push notifications. And push notifications are huge. Push notifications are how Clubhouse was built. It was all built on push notifications. You can do push notifications with us because of our mobile app. If somebody wants to join your webinar on a mobile device, we ask them to download a mobile app. We have an iOS and an Android app. Now that we have that available and we have an app downloaded on their computer, in order to launch the webinar, you now can do push notifications right onto their computer and right onto their phone to remind them about the webinar, which is huge in terms of getting people on. That's why our show rate's 75%. It's because we are able to remind people. So you can do all of this inside of WebinarFuel. You can write all of these emails. You can integrate your own SMTP, so like SendGrid or whatever. And if you do that, then you can write as many of these emails as you want. There's no limit. You can put as many as you want in there. If you use our built-in one, there's a couple, like, you know, a limitation on 3 or 4 emails per block here. That is specific so that, you know, spammers don't come in and ruin it for everybody. But you can do all of your email promotion right inside of WebinarFuel. It already knows if they've attended, haven't attended, you know, all those things. So it moves them along the email chain very nicely. We also have this thing called leads, okay? And I think this is important for people to pay attention to. So leads is where when somebody gives you their email address in that 2-step registration, but they don't finish registering for the webinar, they become a lead in the system, okay? And they go right here into this bucket. And in this bucket, we can send emails to them. So you can see this says, send this email 5 minutes after somebody abandons registration. So if they give us their email address, but they don't actually register, we wait 5 minutes, we send them an email and we say, hey, did something go wrong? Why don't you just click here to finish registering? Like, just let's get you on the webinar. You can see now that I've recovered 3 out of 38 people. So 8%. And by the way, these stats are new. So I've had way more leads, as you saw, but the recovery stats are new. So the fact that we can track this is a new thing. And so,
Anthony, is this a new feature you guys built just recently?
Yeah. This has only been working for maybe like a week.
This is
so
insane.
Now I can verify and see, okay, 8% of the people that give me leads are converting to a registered person off of email 1. And you can see over here at email 2, we've sent 31 emails so far. 1 person recovered, so another 3%. So overall, I've gotten four people so far to register for my webinar out of a total of only 38 leads. That's over 10%. So if I can take 10% of the people that gave me their email address but didn't finish registering, and I can get them to register for my webinar, that's just free money, right? Like, that just becomes free money that you would have never gotten if you use a different platform that doesn't do this. And none of these platforms do this because none of them can. And so, like, this is just extra money, so to speak, right? So we show you how you recover those leads. And then we have something which Vic is going to utilize and you guys are going to love, and it's called shared webinars, right? You click this link right here and you give somebody this link, okay? And if you have a WebinarFuel account, it will automatically take this whole webinar. I want you to think about this. The video that's running on this webinar, the schedule that's set up, the widgets that are built, the webinar room settings, the integrations that are set up, the automations that are set up, everything, all the notifications, and it will put it right into your account as a completely done for you webinar. The only thing you have to do is take your little registration widget, click here, get the code, put it on your web page, and your webinar is done. That's it. All you got to do is get your registration page and your thank you page built, which I know, Vic, you've already built these for them. You just paste your code for your registration widget and your thank you page widget on your pages, and that's it. Your webinar is done. Everything else is set up for you when you use the shared link. And think of it just like shared funnels, right? That's exactly what it is. It does it all for you. So we've built all of this into WebinarFuel. There's tons of other features, tons of other things that I did not go over, all the way down to the fact that, look, we thought of everything because this is a software built by somebody who actually uses it. I built it for me, and then somewhere along the way, we decided we would sell it and let other people use it. But look at this. We have Webby app preferences. You get to control what viewing experience somebody has. So for instance, if somebody is on a mobile device when they join your webinar, and it's the live webinar they've registered for, you can force them to watch it in the app. meaning they got to download the software, the Webby app software. But what if you send them an email that says, watch the replay, right? Well, if you've already told them it's a replay, there's no reason to force them to watch it in an app that is kind of making it seem like a live webinar. So we've built in a browser version, just like everybody else uses, but that we use essentially for our replays, right? So basically you can say, hey, on the replay, when somebody clicks that, just take them to the browser version and let them watch it on the browser so that they can, get their get people right on. Same thing with desktop. For desktop, you can say, hey, I want to show it in the app if they're registering for one, but if they get an email from us that tells them to join a replay, I want to show it in the browser. And then you can even split test. So you get to control how somebody views your webinar, whether it's browser or in the software, based on what device they're on and how they've registered for the webinar. So we've given you control over everything so that you can optimize. One of the things that I always find interesting is that it's these small levers, right? It's pulling these small levers that's the difference between people that make a little money and people that make a lot of money. It's not like there's this one huge lever, we just pull it and all of a sudden we make millions. If that was the case, it'd be simple for everybody to do it. People that are super successful pull a lot of small levers. They pull little bitty levers that increase their conversion rates 0.5%, 1/3%, 1/7%, 1%. And combined, because they've put in the time, the effort, the knowledge, right, the testing, they can combine, increase their conversion rates 5, 6, 7%, right? That is where money is made. What we've done is put all those levers into WebinarFuel so that you can just click buttons and pull these levers that I've already identified as really important levers, right? And things that can make you money. And so all of that is already set up. All of this is already done, and very, very easy for you to be able to go through and utilize. So Vic, I know that you. I don't know if you want to say anything about. I know that a lot of people want to get WebinarFuel, so I'm just tell them how to get it. But I don't know if you want to talk a little bit first.
Yeah, insane, right, Anthony? If you can stop sharing your screen for a moment, just so I can go bigger on the screen here.
Yep.
I want people to be able to see and kind of echo what you just mentioned. So this right here is what is making people like lose sleep at night, literally, over this thing. So imagine this, right? What Anthony just showed, obviously, isn't it like the most insane thing you have ever seen, right? Absolutely. So here's the setup that we have, okay? For every funnel, if you're setting up a funnel, whether it's the 7K funnel or the 4% funnels or any other funnel from the Shiki Boom network, which is our private offers network. Okay, so what we do, like I said, is we utilize this setup because it is the ultimate setup. This is the best setup. And so we want our people to make the most money from the same amount of traffic that you're going to be sending. Right? If you're buying traffic or whatever your traffic expenses are, we want you to be able to maximize your return and lower your traffic cost, right? And get as many sales out of those visitors as possible. And so for that, we give you full control. So this is your, let's say, a landing page here that is given to you. All right. Now here's the cool thing. By the way, the thank you page. Okay, the thank you page is also given to you with that WebinarFuel widget that you will be integrating from your WebinarFuel account. Now, here's what I want you to really understand. Here's what happens. What we have is for every funnel, every offer, for every product that we sell, that we build and integrate with WebinarFuel, okay, you are essentially tapping into what I do for our company. We're not telling you, okay, here is the tool, okay, here is the landing page you can build, and then just kind of leave you at your own, with your own devices and on your own. We don't do that. We are right now, at the time of us recording this, we're literally on a mission. For example, one of the funnels with the 4% here, our goal, just kind of like a fun thing that we want to see if we can hit, is to do $100 million with one campaign, one product, one campaign, one offer. And we are utilizing this setup with WebinarFuel. Now, what you are able to do now is literally tap into what we're doing for our company, like $100 million setup and promotion. Like, what if you don't have to figure it out? What if you just stepped into it? So that means that you can have the same landing page, obviously on your domain, you control it, right? You have your thank you page on that same domain. And then the same webinar that we are running for this promotion, by the way, that is the case for every funnel or every offer that we have within the network. Okay. We have this webinar that is already recorded. It's done for you. Most of these webinars are recorded by me, obviously. I do the presenting, I do the selling, I do the explaining, I do the closing, I sell. All right. And then we give you the, as you saw in the previous, in the setup page, there is a code and Anthony just shared. So you have your own code that you paste in your WebinarFuel account. Now, here's what happens on that webinar. There's a couple of things that Anthony already mentioned. Okay. There's going to be people that will no show. Okay. Did not show up. And he already showed you how that works. There is a whole sequence, okay, of emails that is pre-written by us. I want to make sure that you understand this. You do not necessarily have to write these emails copy. Okay. So, copywriting is really, really, it's like that glue that brings everything together, right? You can have the whole setup, but if you don't know how to write compelling emails and how to bring people back, nobody's going to show up. That is done for you. That comes part of the pre-built share of the entire business. Now, somebody else might, show up, but they did not, show up, but no call to action. Okay. No call to action. They did not they left early. Okay. Maybe we just say left early. Okay. And again, I teach all this, but I want to make sure that left early. Okay. Again, it's a separate built out for the follow-up emails, and that again, all comes integrated with you within your WebinarFuel built out here. And then people that saw call to action, all right, and maybe they didn't buy. They saw the call to action, and so these people have a separate. So all of these different kind of branches of sequential communication, depending on their behavior, what they did or didn't do during this experience. I want to make sure that you understand all of this comes pre-built with our account. We write these out. Okay, we do all the notifications and push notifications, all that stuff, and they automatically get copied into your WebinarFuel account. Okay, make sense? So the only thing you really have to do is just get that link, import it into your WebinarFuel account, and the entire business, that's why we call it the turnkey, right? Business. You literally just add water and that's it. The whole thing is there. Okay. So that way, when you are sending traffic, right, to your thing. So this is on your domain. Okay. Your domain, this is your domain, and this is your account. So you have the entire thing in your control. You can retarget people from here. Okay. Because you control it. See, if you use the standard stuff, you cannot do this. Right? Most affiliates don't make money because they are promoting a standard affiliate link. They cannot retarget. They don't have no control. You can retarget people here. Okay. And Anthony, can you answer this for me? So, because obviously, they have an account, it's in their control. Are you guys integrating with retargeting pixels, that kind of stuff? How does that work? Can you walk me through that?
Yeah. So you can actually put your retargeting pixel on here so that it will track how many people have, like, you'll be able to build Facebook audiences off of the people that registered, the people that registered and attended, the people that registered and bought. So you can build audiences of your buyers. You can build audiences of the people that attended but didn't buy. So you can retarget them with a different messaging. So yeah, all of that is built in. It's very simple. You just copy and paste your Facebook pixel code on there. You're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is amazing, man.
I mean, if you want to make money and you're in the paid marketing game, you got to be able to do that. So so we built it in.
Yeah. So WebinarFuel, obviously, it's a tool, right? It's a software, it's technology, it's a tool. I don't control it. I use it. I bought it from Anthony. I didn't even tell him. I'm like, dude, I just paid $1,700 to, Stealth Seminar. I don't, and I was prepared. I literally was going to do a webinar like tomorrow to all of our community. And I was prepared to tell you, just like I was prepared to tell our people, they came before you, to get Stealth Seminar. And the account we were going to recommend that they would get, I think that's like $170 a month. Plus, we were going to recommend that people get like Entreport account because that's what we use for our company within 4%. for all these, all of these dynamic kind of a smart follow-up sequences. When people do that, send them that. When they do that, send them that. That was like another $150 a month. And I was prepared to recommend that you get those tools, because those are the tools, right? So if if I'm going to build a house, if I want to record this video, I need some tools. Like I need a camera, like I need a whiteboard. I wish I could give it to you for free, but it's just necessary stuff that I need to be able to do what I need to do. And then literally that same night, I happened to talk to Anthony, and he's like, dude, we got all this figured out. People like don't need to get all those tools. I'm like, dude, you see, this is like exactly what we need. So the only tool that you will need here with this setup, right? We give you, right? Obviously, if you are, a 4% gold level member or above, we give you, eStage, right? So we have all these landing pages given to you. They're pre-built for you. You can build them from scratch. You can do all that stuff. So you don't have to have that tool, right? People that don't have eStage, they need to have a tool, ClickFunnels or Cardflow or any other thing. You don't need to do that, okay? You have eStage, you're already hooked up on that one, okay? The only thing that you really need now, if you want to have this setup running for yourself, and obviously if I were you, I tell you, do whatever you got to do to get this, because this could be the difference between you making like couple bucks or even no money to making literally thousands and maybe tens of thousands of dollars. We're going for, this is our $100 million campaign setup for our company. Okay, just to kind of put this in perspective for you. So WebinarFuel as a tool, all right, we are going to tell you to get it, okay, because I have no control over it. I wish I can give it to you for free. Anthony, it's a company, it's a software company, it takes a lot of money to run it, right?
Right.
Employees. Anthony, by the way, talk about support and all that stuff. You guys haven't somebody
so right now we've built out support. Unlike a lot of these other companies that do this, where they just hire people that really don't know anything. Most of the support currently is done by me and by our lead developer, Letitia. So if you have questions, you have things that you want to add, feature requests, things like that, integration requests, we're seeing it. It's not going into this like black hole of abyss where we never see it. We're seeing it. And then we're able to go in and start making those changes that you need and helping you. So we've got great support. We're constantly working with, working with our clients to make WebinarFuel better. In fact, when we originally sold WebinarFuel, it was in July of, the pandemic year, 2020. And we originally released it, and then we shut it down. We sold a good bit of it, and we shut it down. We didn't sell it again for 8-9 months. And all we did was focus on refining it, making it better, fixing any bugs that we had, and addressing all the things that basically our beta students said, hey, it would be great if it did this, it'd be great if it did that. And we didn't sell it. We focused on making it better, not making sales. And I think that's what's allowed us to get so far ahead of the game. And so, yeah, we're really in tune with helping you make this platform what you need it to be. But I feel like we've probably addressed 99, there's always gonna be the fringe, but there's the 99% of your questions, I wish it would do this, I wish it would do that, we've already addressed.
Yeah. So let me tell you what, kind of put things in parallel just so that you understand why we're doing this. You understand, like, we don't have to do this. Like, we could tell you, go get, and here's the tools that you would typically get, right? We would, for you to have this kind of a setup for you, right? You would have like a page builder, okay? Page builder, you would need like an Entreport account to do all this smart things. Entreport is I think Entreport is $150 a month. Is the account that I would recommend that you get. Stealth Seminar is $170 a month. It would be the minimum account that I would tell you, because that would accommodate about 300 people simultaneously. So like if you have 1,000 people that wanted to watch a webinar, they couldn't, because you would be cut off at 300. So at least for 300, you would pay 170. I got an account for Stealth Seminar. It was $1,700 because we wanted to accommodate more people, obviously, right? More connections. Another thing is SMS, right? That would be whatever else. And then push notifications. Okay. And that would be like non-existent.
Yeah, you can't even do it.
Right. And then with the stealth seminar, what we would tell you is, because like I would record the webinar, obviously I record the webinar, you don't have to present, but then you would have to have your own like AWS account, which is an Amazon server, which is what's needed for the best viewer experience. I know with the webinar gem, you know, if you embed from like YouTube, it literally shows you the controls like in the webinar. It's like insane. It's like,
Yeah.
what? You know, people can
Yeah,
like pause it and they can, it's crazy. And so we would tell you to get like AWS or Vimeo, okay, which is like another, it can be pretty spendy depending on the use, that kind of stuff. So you're looking at, I mean, realistically, okay, you would be looking at about, I would say about $5,000 a year minimum, at minimum, worth of operational kind of a tools cost, right, to be able to run it like this. And really, I have no control over it, whether you do it or not, or you can do, you know, rely on like standard affiliate stuff, which, you know, if you do that and you become just like another guy or gal out there with an affiliate link, well, you're not really making any money. So it kind of defeats the purpose of building your affiliate business anyways, right? Now, that's not a lot, obviously, compared to what it could do for you. But because we have WebinarFuel and what we were able to do with the community here, this entire seamless integration, you don't need that, 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 including video inside of the webinar. Okay, when you embed that code, the video hosting, the payment for the video, all that stuff is zero for you. Like, you don't pay anything additional for the expert. You just basically get the tool. Everything else is built in, and we cover those costs because it comes from our master account. Does that make sense? So I want to make sure that you understand that we're like hooking you up here, like beyond anything that anybody would ever do for the community.
And something that's important is that with 4%, we're using a special link to let you enroll for WebinarFuel. There's a couple of benefits to it. I'm going to tell you one of those benefits now. We'll tell you the other one later. But the number one benefit is that you're actually getting it's the same link that my beta users used. It's not a link you can find anywhere else. You can go on our website and sign up. Not going to get you this. This link gives you a premium access account. It's an account that we don't even sell anymore. What it does is it gives you unlimited webinars, unlimited attendees, unlimited integrations, unlimited push notifications, and access to all of the features in WebinarFuel that we have today and all of the features that we will have from here on out. Basically, it's the account that I use. So we have different account levels. My account is on this level, right? And so it means anytime we push a new feature, it instantly is yours, right? Some other people may wait 6 months to get it. You know, they may wait 3 months. They may have to upgrade to get it, whatever you want to call it. All of the features, all of the unlimited, everything is in this type of account. You can only get that here. It does not exist anywhere else, and it won't ever exist anywhere else. We did it one time when we launched the software, and we've put it here inside of the 4% community. So it's important to note that all of these things that Vic just said are true, but eventually when you go to our website, you'll see where it's like, oh, you got to upgrade to get this, you got to upgrade to get that. You know, it's different levels. You know, some might be $300 a month, some might be, you know, $4,000, $5,000 a year. It just depends. But you will not have to do that. You'll have everything forever in one account. And this is this premium access account.
Yeah, and so that's obviously, that's a special thing that Anthony's doing just for our community here, and so it's only going to be available to you through the link that's on this page right now. Anthony, let's talk about pricing, licenses, like what they get with, you know, we hooking them up with.
Yeah, so let me just share my screen real quick. All right, we'll pull this up. So here's basically what we have set up for you guys. So we're going to set you up with an annual account. Okay, so you get 12 months of premium account access to WebinarFuel. So I just told you what premium meant. It meant it's unlimited. It includes everything. There's no limitations anywhere. Okay, and all features forever, not just for the first year, and then it's just forever. Okay, so you're going to get this unlimited premium account. We're also going to give you access to Webinar Wednesdays. The last Wednesday of every calendar month, I do a webinar for all of our WebinarFuel students. It's called Webinar Wednesdays. And this is where you get to ask me any questions. We get to go over as many things as you want. Like, it's your access to me to help you with webinars. Even though we're a software company, I also run a training company too. And so I want to be able to educate you. So we're going to give you access to that. And you're getting done for you webinars. Now, there's two types of done for you webinars. One is the done for you webinars that I do for you and have already done on Webinar Wednesdays. But also, as a 4% member, like Vic said, you're getting all the done for you funnels and webinars for all the different 4% products and different things in your ecosystem. So nobody else is getting that, but you're getting all of those completely done for you. Click a button, it installs them into your WebinarFuel account. You go and launch. Now you've got your own business selling the products inside of 4%. You saw earlier, that's how I became the #1 affiliate for ClickFunnels. Just doing my own webinar to promote somebody else's product, and I get to keep all the leads and build my business. So you're getting that. If you start looking at it and just start trying to value it, look, it can be over $13,000 in value, very easy. But the reality is, okay, is that how can you really put a price on done for you webinars from Vic, right? Like, how can you really put a price on that? It's difficult. So we just kind of said, hey, look, what
I'll
would
tell
it
you, man, there are services that charge. Like I used to, I paid, there was a company in Tampa, Florida. I think you already know who I'm talking about. These guys charge $20,000 for 1 day for you to fly out there, and they just built a webinar for you, and you still have to deliver it, but they'll just have to create 20K. You know, I actually paid early on just to kind of check them out. Great service, but you know, that's about what you can expect per webinar. It's about 20K per.
And that's, again, with you having to go deliver it,
You
not
gotta
having
deliver it,
somebody like Vic or me deliver it for you.
Yeah.
So look, if all it did was help you to create the perfect presentation to sell your product, I think it'd be worth it. If it lets you just stop doing live presentations, if you are doing webinars now, and it lets you just kind of buy back your time in your life, I'm thinking it would be worth it. And if it lets you just make more money from each dollar that you spend on ads, I think that you could probably justify saying that it's worth it, right? But here's what we're going to do is we're going to let you into WebinarFuel right now for one payment today of $997. Now you can see the link that's right there on the screen. It's www.enrollwf.com/Vic. And that's with his name misspelled without the K.
Actually, Anthony, if you can, let's do this. Can you remove that link? Because we're going to run it through the ecosystem link. We're going to put that ecosystem link below on this page here. Yeah, don't go to that link that you just saw on the screen. That was for previous group of people. And I'm about to tell you what we're about to do for you. That's going to blow you away.
So let's remove.
I'm not sure if you can just remove that link. Yeah, we're going to actually provide the link that below this video. That will be your link for you to click. Because that is going to be our private ecosystem link, and I'll tell you what that means in just a second. Okay, you really want to make sure that you go through the link that's below on this page here. Yeah, perfect. Link below. Yeah.
All right, link below. And so basically, I will remove the functionality of the other link. So make sure that you do click the link below. Do not go to the link that I just gave you. Otherwise, it just simply won't work.
Yeah. Cool. So $997 a year, that's an annual license. My friends, here's the thing. This should never, ever be an expense for you. Don't think, number one, it's tax write-off, right? It's business. Number two, that is like a drop in like a freaking Pacific Ocean compared to what it should do for your business. And that's what we intend. Again, you know, $100 million built out for us, you're tapping into the same, not like it, not you still have to build it. It's built. It's given to you on a silver platter. You just got to get the tool. Now, couple things before I tell you I'm about to drop the nuclear bomb. Let me ask you this. It's $997 a year, but would you like to know how you could potentially have it free and make money from it without spending any extra money? Okay, I'm about to tell you that in just a second. So here's what you're getting that nobody else is getting. So Anthony, if they go to like WebinarFuel.com and they get, you know, there's obviously different things that you guys offer to the public. They will not get the premium account or the beta version with all the perks that come with it. and they would not get all these like built outs and done for you stuff, not just for one webinar,
Right.
but as long as you have an account, you will have unlimited. Like if we have like 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 different offers within our network, we will have 100, whatever the number of the webinars that we're running, you can literally tap in, just add it to their account. And it's not like you need to pay additional $9.97 for every offer that you run. You just have one account, unlimited webinars, as Anthony said, that you can run, okay? Now, get this right now, and here's what we're gonna do. So when we first introduced this, and that's why Anthony had that link in there, you know, we first introduced this to our private invite only kind of a group of people from our promotional partners here within the 4%. And I said, you know, I mean, it was the craziest thing ever. I mean, we had like 500 people on the webinar, or like 600 people on the webinar. Like most everybody, like got it. It was insane. And so what we promised, what we offered to those people is I said, hey, look, guys. So what if we do this? Because we were on an ecosystems, right? And we have like, imagine you promoting this funnel, right? Let's say you're promoting funnel A, let's say it's 7K funnel or whatever. It doesn't matter what funnel that is. Let's say you're promoting.
You want me to stop sharing my screen so they can see yours bigger?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, now.
Okay. So check this out. Maybe I'm going to put myself on, maybe as a speaker. So there you go. Anthony, you can still see me, right? You see me like on a big screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. I want to be, okay, so let's say that you're promoting 7K funnel or a 4% funnel or anything from the 4%, you know, ecosystem, right? From the Shikibu network. And let's say that you have, you know, you own that, right? Let's say you have this prospect and he is coming in through your funnel that you control, all right? That prospect goes and he, you know, he buys, right? Now you made money. Okay, when that prospect of yours, when he buys over here, that the WebinarFuel sold on your behalf, right? There is nothing you need to do. You just basically need to send traffic to this whole built out system and you just go vacation. I mean, literally, you could do that, okay? You can be making money when you're sleeping. This is a machine that's working for you. Okay, now this person is here now, right? Boom, you got paid on the product that WebinarFuel sold. Now, that person now is part of our ecosystem. Let's say that they purchased, you know, 7K Metals product or membership or any funnel that you're promoting, right? That person, let's say when they set up and they go into our ecosystem now, okay, they are attached to you within our ecosystem. Let me ask you this. What if, you know, imagine if that, let's say, let's call him John, okay? If John now is in your position, now he goes and he sets up his own funnels, okay? Track with me, this is crazy. Now John was introduced to the 4% and the Shikiboom network. He came through whatever funnel. He's attached and hard-coded to you within our ecosystem. Our system knows that John was brought and introduced through you, okay? John now goes and picks up an offer he wants to promote. It can be 7K, can be 4% funnels, can be, you know, anything from the network of our private funnels, okay? And John gets introduced to this concept of a turnkey system. And John would watch this particular demo that you are watching right now, right? And John would be like, dude, that's like the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. I need that WebinarFuel dealio. I need to have my own, you know, turnkey system set up. So I want to raise myself head and shoulders above the competition. I want to make more money. It just makes sense. Okay. Just as a tool, obviously it makes all the sense in the world. It's crazy for somebody not to have this tool if they want to make big money. If they want to make a little money, yeah, they don't have to worry about it. They can just do the standard stuff. But if they want to make big money, consistent, you know, automated when they're sleeping kind of money, and just let the machine work for them, do the heavy, who wouldn't want to do that? Now, John, he's going to watch this video. Okay, there's going to be a link below this video. John is going to get his WebinarFuel account. Let me ask you a question. would you like to get paid from WebinarFuel as an affiliate, okay, when John purchases his WebinarFuel account for any of his stuff? Wouldn't that be the craziest thing in the world, right? Anthony, we did a test on this promotion, right? You wanna talk about what you saw happen through this ecosystem setup?
Lord, I mean, it's just crazy because everybody wants to be able to make money when people buy the tool too, because everybody realizes that everybody's going to buy the tool, right? And to be clear, WebinarFuel is not a business opportunity. It's not a quick way to make money. It is a tool that is allowing you to do those things, right? With like you said, with NED offers within your network. And so here's what we came up with and what we did, and it's special just for the 4%. You can go look on the website if you want. If you go sign up as an affiliate for WebinarFuel, you get paid 20% commission. So somebody buys the $1,000 a year thing, you make $200 a year off of it. So you sell 5 people. If 5 Johns come through the funnel, you've paid for your WebinarFuel, right? But for a specific amount of time, one that I will let Vic determine, we are allowing the 4% group, when you purchase, to get double the commissions. So you get 40% commissions. So now when somebody like John comes through and they buy WebinarFuel, you're getting paid $400, not $200. And that's $400 per year. So that means you really only need a couple of people a year, and it pays for your access to WebinarFuel basically for free, right? 2.5 people a year. So it makes it very simple for you now to make more money through your ecosystem, to be able to use your tool for free, and you're getting double the commissions that anybody else gets. And that is why it is extremely important that you click the link that's below this video to enroll, because it is automated. What that means is when you enroll as a WebinarFuel student or client from the link below, it will automatically set you up an affiliate account and automatically move you to the 40% commission rate, which is our special interior, like in our software, it says 4% group, and it gives you 40% commissions. If you do not use the link that you see right below, you will not get the 40% commission rate, because it will not set you up automatically with it. So that is why it is very important. Like I said, it's no BS that you can go buy this somewhere else and all that. You can't. You can try it, feel free. But when you do, you're not going to get all the features, you're not going to get the done for you webinars, and you're not going to get the 40% commissions. You have to use the link below. It's all automated. As you can imagine, I can't be spending the next, forever in my life with Vic calling me, hey, look, this guy bought and this guy bought, this person bought. Will you bump this one? Will you change? We can't do that. It's all automated if you click the link that's below. So you're going to get 40% commissions. That's double the commission rate, so that now you can earn more through the ecosystem.
Yeah, which is great. So I want you, my friend, a couple of things I want to make sure that I'm very, very clear. I always want to hook up our family members, our 4%ers, if I can, right? This special ecosystem, your ability to earn commissions when any of your people that come in through any of the funnels, when any of your people buy this tool, it's not entitlement. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to do this. We could just have all those commissions just for the tool alone. Obviously, if I give you an ability to make money on it or not, you still get the tool, because it's a tool. What we're doing, and it's going to be for a very limited time promotion. We initially did not want to do this, but I'm going to extend the same offer we did for the private, invitation only. It will be for a limited time. There's going to be a timer on this page that you will see somewhere here. And it's going to be real deal. Now, please understand, this is a bonus. This is a cherry on top. This is a perk. This is something that's like a gift from Vic. Okay, it's like, hey, you're part of our family. We're gonna help you make even more money. And here's what we're gonna do: grab this tool now, right? Click on this link right now. If you, like Anthony said, if you go outside of this link, you will not get the same benefits. Don't email us later, be like, oh my goodness, I missed out. If you follow simple instructions, there is a link right below this video. That is your that's your ecosystem link that you need to use to get this. Here's what's going to happen. We will set you up if you do it in time, if you do it before this special offer ends for you personally. Okay. We will set you up so that you will automatically be approved for 40% commissions from WebinarFuel. Okay. And so what you will also do is Anthony's system will let our system know that, hey, so-and-so, right, you just purchased. And if you do it within the certain time that the system allows you to purchase, you will be set up within our ecosystem, okay? Your affiliate user account from WebinarFuel will be linked to our ecosystem. And here's what's gonna happen. Anybody, let's say, you just promote this link below this video of any of your people that came through your link, when you promote any of the funnels, when they click that link, that will become your affiliate link for WebinarFuel. Okay, and so when John purchases, you could be earning $400 per every John that purchases. Now, how well does this thing convert? Well, we did a little kind of a test before this, and Anthony, what did we do? Like 580,000 or something like that?
Yeah, it was like almost 600 units, but you only had like 600 people on the web. So
it was nuts.
It was crazy. Yeah, it converts at a really high rate. But I think that just goes to the point to show that the software is great, the selling mechanism within the software is great. And then obviously when you combine that with done for you webinars from you and through your community, it gives everybody a real something to load into that. You don't have to, oh, what am I gonna do my webinar on? How do I do a webinar? All that. You can just use the webinars that are already done for you to sell the products that you're already promoting. And now you get to keep your leads, build your business, automate selling by allowing, Vic to sell for you through these different platforms, and earn commissions when people do the same thing. It's just kind of a no-brainer.
So we are right now, and again, I'm not going to promise you like gazillions or whatever here. But at the same time, business is data, right? So we are tracking data. Anthony's tracking data. Data is like king in business, right? I can tell you this, right now, we are tracking about 30% of people that have an opportunity or had an opportunity to even click to see an opportunity to get the tool for the tool itself. We're tracking 30% of these people. So imagine this, if you have, let's say if you got 100 people that are attached to you within the ecosystem, let's say that you got the tool right now, right? You click on the link below this video, you got the tool for yourself, okay? Again, big, bold kind of a disclaimer. WebinarFuel is not a business opportunity. This is a privilege. This is an extra thing we're doing for you to help you make passive money. That commissions that would otherwise go to the house, okay, to 4%, we're just passing them through to you. And we're doing you a favor. This is not a right. This is not an obligation. This is not like an entitlement. This is our way to help you, okay? So I don't want to hear anything that again, this is just a bonus, okay? Now, imagine this. If you got 100 people, okay, that you sold through any of the funnels, right now, statistical data is 30 of them, okay? Obviously, 100 people, you made all your money on the front end of selling whatever product. 30, all right? 30 right now is what we're tracking, statistically, would get, okay, WebinarFuel, where you would get $400 in commissions that would be going directly to you. So you do the math, right? So if we are tracking, my math is horrible, especially being what is that, Anthony? 30 times 400, man, I should know better. That's $12,000. Come on, Vic. But see, math was not my strongest thing. Right. don't laugh. Okay.
You don't have to worry about math. Just let somebody else count the money. You know what I mean?
I tell you, man. You learn how to make money. You don't have to worry about counting it, right? So my friend, just from 100 people being tied into you through the ecosystem, zero extra money for marketing, zero effort on your part. You don't have to explain. You don't have to present, just because, okay, if it makes sense to you to get the tool for yourself, which regardless of the opportunity attached to it or not, I think you should definitely get the tool because it's going to allow you to make money on whatever you're promoting that much better. But when you do that now, before this special promo ends for you, okay, This is additional bonus. Call it ice cream money. Call it take your date on a nice vacation kind of a money. Call it your extra car money. Call it your whatever. I mean, you can pay for like a $2 million house or something, like $1 million and a half kind of a mortgage, right? With that kind of extra money. This is just passive, and just from like 100 people. Now, what if you took it up to 1,000? But the cool thing is that would be like annual recurring, right, Anthony? We'll set them up so that when their people rebuild, they would get that rebill as well.
Yep, that's right. As long as you continue to rebill for the software, you continue to get paid.
Yeah. So, my friend, I think this, you're probably chomping at the bit. You probably are, ready to get this thing going. That's what we have for you. Anthony, thank you so much, bro. I know this is Sunday and, you didn't have to do this. I appreciate you jumping on here, and, you're in the middle of, living life and handling your stuff there, moving.
Hey, look, I'm always happy to jump on and support support your students and what they're doing. I will say they're some of the most active people on the planet, which is a good thing, because that means more people are going through the ecosystem, more people are buying and learning and actually implementing what they learn. And so that's always a big thing and a good thing. So I'm excited and obviously excited to be able to give these done for you webinars, the entire software, the 40% commissions, just the whole thing. To whoever's watching this right this minute, because I feel like it's just, I always look at it, like I said earlier, just these small little levers that we can pull in business. And if you pull enough of them, they add up to this massive difference. And that difference is really the difference in success and failure. People say, well, how come you can run ads and you make money and I run ads and I don't make money? Well, it's because I've pulled enough small levers to make my ads convert better, or to make my process more profitable than you have. And so a lot of the things that are complicated, difficult, and hard for people to figure out and are the little things, right? And that's what we've already done and accomplished for them inside of this, and given them the opportunity to pull those levers. And when you do the done for you webinars, you've pulled all those levers anyway. And I'm just excited to give people the opportunity to run what we consider a truly optimized funnel, a truly optimized opportunity that can really make a difference for them. So I'm excited to have you be a part of the WebinarFuel community, and to, of course, integrate that right into your 4% ecosystem, and overall just help you grow as an entrepreneur.
Sweet. So, my friend, nobody else in the world is getting this. This is custom stuff we're doing for our people only. Here's what you need to do. Step number one, if you don't have a WebinarFuel account, click that link. It's very important. The link right below this video will get you activated on this whole dealio here that we're doing for you. Step number one, grab it now. Grab your account. All right, you'll pay the $9.97, get it registered. Step number one. Step number two, make sure that you do it within the time that is given to you. If you want to get in on the passive kind of a back-end commissions on it, which will happen whether you are in it or not, because people are buying it, whether you might as well get those commissions, right? And this is optional. You don't have to do this. You can just pass that on to the house, and we'll take it. More money to the company, because we got expenses too. But if you do it within the time specified, we will have a pass-through, basically set you up for you to get all commissions on your people, okay? Once you have the tool, then you go back to the funnel setup here. On whatever funnel you're setting up, and then you'll just basically you'll be given that WebinarFuel share code, okay? And then you'll just take it and put it into your WebinarFuel account, and they will literally give you the whole built out for whatever funnel you're setting up and you want to promote. And then final thing, advanced. So if you are somebody that's like building, you want to do big things, right? Maybe you are not necessarily the beginner, but maybe you are like a team builder. Maybe you're running with one company we have collaborations with here is 7K Metals, which is a network marketing company. But there's so many other things that we're collaborating with, right? Let's say that you are a team builder, and let's say that you have your own team theme going on, right? Here's what you can do, okay? Think big here with me, right? If you have this tool for yourself, just like what I'm doing for you and for our community, imagine if you can do this for your team. So if you have a tool, you will be able to build out your own webinars, right? Maybe you got your own promotion that's custom to you only, right? And maybe you want to give your setup to your people. You tracking with me here? You think bigger? Again, this is more advanced stuff. This can take your business to stratospheric levels very, very quickly. But obviously, if you're a complete beginner, we help you that, to get there. And then if you're somebody that's more advanced, oh my goodness, you can be like, shoot, man, it's a complete no-brainer. So I know you're excited. I know that you're ready to go. Go ahead and click that button, grab it now. Make sure that you do it within a time specified, and I will see you at the top. My friend, thank you so much for your time. And Anthony, appreciate you, man. God bless you.